FX Morning Mayhem podcast is an essential listen for currency traders. Each episode covers a curated watch list of key currency pairs alongside insightful market observations. It highlights crucial daily news events that could influence the market, ensuring traders are well informed. Additionally, the podcast offers valuable trading strategy tips, catering to both new and experienced traders in the Forex market. This podcast is for educational purposes only. None of this info should be construed as investment advice. To see the trades called out live for free on our Slack channel, click the link in the description or scan the QR code to join the trade faction. If you find this podcast valuable, please follow and share with a friend. And now, on with the show.
Let's start with the instruments today. This is Aussie New Zealand dollar. We are barely in an uptrend. We are not in the zone, so nothing to do on this one right now. Aussie US dollar, strong uptrend, looking for a long in the zone, so just waiting for a sweet spot to happen here. So that one is one we want to keep our eye on. Euro, Canadian dollar in an uptrend, but we're way overbought. We're about to be hyperextended here. I can tell by the value down here. So don't pay attention to that one. Same here. Wow, that really is, those really got trashed. I'll tell you one in a bit there, so ignore that. Here's one that looks decent, uptrend. This is the New Zealand US dollar. We're in the zone. We're looking for a long, so just waiting for a sweet spot to print off here. Singapore dollar, Swiss franc, barely in a trend, not in the zone, nothing to do here. US Canadian dollar, this is in a downtrend. We are in the zone. We are in a shortwave phase, so we're looking for shorts here. So this is another one to keep in our pocket to watch. And then this was the one that we both took last night, and it worked. So I can't complain. Yeah. So one of the things I wanted to show you here that I added, and this is more for, I mean, you can do this however way you want, right? But so one of the things that I do, or that people ask me, is where do I put my profit? Where do I put my stop? So normally what I will do as far as that is concerned is, let me zoom in here a little bit. So for example, when we took this trade last night, here's the sweet spot. So I think I targeted something like in the nature of this area. What these little lines are in here, I just added these just for kind of general guideline. This is the average true range for the last 14 bars. So here's your ATR right here. So the average distance that price has traveled in the last 14 bars has been about 9 pips. So if you get into these positions and you use the ATR as your profit target, that's kind of a pretty standard industry thing to do. There's a super high likelihood you're going to hit that number because it's the average for the last, 14 bars kind of a thing. Now, it's, obviously it's not like a ton of pips, so people don't get too excited about it. But what I do is I just leverage up so that it doesn't have to move a lot to make a lot of money. So for example, in my big account, I think I'm doing like 300K positions. So for this to move 9 ticks for me, that's decent money. So you can do that. And then the way I did these is the ATR 1.5 ATR. So like if I was to short something here, I would put my stop loss here. Okay.
Gotcha.
Makes sense. Or you can just do the pointy places like my son used to say. Just target the pointy places for your profit target. So if you got in here short, I would have targeted that, whatever, however many ticks that is from the entry. So that's how you do that. Okay. So,
Nice.
okay, let me zoom out and we'll talk about this thing and why this happened. So the first thing I'm going to do is take a look at the news. So today there's nothing going on except new home sales at 9 o'clock. There is, looks like the equivalent of the Fed guy for the Swiss franc at 325 this afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
They're the only two big news events. So let me get to the market insight. So I'm going to change this a little bit. I'm going to kind of do a overall market summary and then talk a little bit about maybe a specific topic to maybe make it just a little bit more interesting. Okay. So the stock market's having a tough day today. I don't know if you are looking at the S&P 500, but it's taking a giant shit today. Now, there's a couple of things going on. One, and the reason, probably the main reason why the market's taking a dump is there's a Chinese startup called Deepseek, and they created a new AI model that's as good or better than any of the ones from the American companies. And they made it cheaper and it runs faster and it's open source. So everybody in Silicon Valley is having a conniption about this. And that is the reason why the market is tanking, is because the Chinese have torpedoed our big Stargate effort right out of the sheets. So because of this news, stocks are falling sharply. NASDAQ, which consists of many tech companies, is down almost 5%. NVIDIA, the company that makes the chips for AI, their stock just dropped 13%. That's the other thing about this DeepSeek thing, is that it doesn't require super duper fast high graphics hardware. So that's also another thing that everybody's getting all upset about. In Europe, pretty much the same thing. ASML, which makes machines for producing computer chips, has seen its stock fall 10%. There is some disappointing news from China, though. Factories aren't making as much as expected, which could mean the global economy there isn't growing as fast as people hoped. The US dollar is weakening compared to other currencies, especially against the yen. Oil prices are slightly up because a cheaper dollar makes it cheaper for other countries to buy oil. And investors are looking forward to hearing the Central Bank of Europe today and the US Fed, what they're going to do on interest rates, because, everybody wants the interest rates to go down.
Yeah.
So anyway, all this is making everybody, shit themselves. So they're selling their stocks and buying bonds. So your bonds must be doing all right.
Probably not yet.
So anyway, it's all about this DeepSeek thing.
Didn't AMD partner with them?
With DeepSeek?
Yeah.
I don't think so. No, I think they're predominantly a Chinese company. Now, I went to Hugging Face and downloaded the model, so I'm gonna put it through its paces and see how good it is. I think really the big thing that got everybody upset is it's free, right? Because all these other models that are out there, they're all charging money for themselves now, even though that's not enough for them to, to make a profit, but it kind of offsets the losses a little bit. And if this big Stargate initiative is going to spend 500 billion to do something, and these guys already have something better right out of the gate, that's not good.
No.
So we'll see what happens there.
All right.
That's all I got for this morning.